give you the floor to ask your question. But at the end of the day, a question and session, question answer session. So we can go ahead and simply ask the questions. Okay, let's move on. Number one hustle হচ্ছে যে idea generation. অনেকেই হচ্ছে যে আছে entrepreneur হতে চায় and they unfortunately they don't know how to come up with an idea অথবা হচ্ছে কোন আইডিয়াটা নিয়ে কাজ করবেন. There are some people যাদের হচ্ছে full of ideas, they are confused যে হচ্ছে যে ভাই আমি কোনটা নিয়ে কাজ করব. I have a lot of ideas, and on the other hand there are some other people as well যাদের হচ্ছে যে those actually who suffer from idea generation as well. They don't get to see যে হচ্ছে যে what is the thing that I need to start with. So I'm not going to tell you that how to generate ideas, because I believe if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should have the capability to actually generate your own idea, find the niche, the market that you want to serve. Okay, so this is a really very important thing. And by the way, let me tell you one thing, if expectation and reality যেন গ্যাপ না হয়, আমি আজকের সেশনটাতে সিম্পলি আমার পার্সোনাল আইডিয়াস গুলো বা আমার জার্নিটা আপনাদের সাথে শেয়ার করব. I'm not going to answer any how to, because I know you guys are smart enough to do the how to. Okay, how to কোনো অ্যান্সার হচ্ছে যে I will try যেগুলো হচ্ছে less relevant, so ওগুলো হচ্ছে আমি অ্যান্সার করব না, because if I tell you the exact ways to go ahead and do it, so you will just simply go ahead and do the exact thing. But instead I want you to go ahead and move further, do your own research, and at the end of the session I'm going to provide you with some resources from where you can get to have the answers of your so-called how to and other questions. Okay, so at the end of the session I'm going to give you some resources as well. All right, so let's move ahead. Finding the right partner. Well, if you are a startup founder, chances are more that you need partners, because you see যে হচ্ছে যে অনেক সময় যেটা হয় আমরা আমাদের এন্ড থেকে হচ্ছে যে একা একটা স্টার্টআপ চালিয়ে নেওয়া is very tough, because you can't hire people on the very beginning, you can't hire some of the great minds from the industry. This is not possible for you. So instead what you're going to do, you are going to have partners who believe in your ideas, and he's going to support or she's going to support you in order to make it happen. Okay, so that's really very important thing. Moving on, so you need to figure out that you are partnering up with a great person, and this is really very tough thing, because sometimes দেখা গেল যে beginning এ বা শুরুর দিকে হচ্ছে যে you find people are very supportive, কিন্তু যখন হচ্ছে দেখা গেল 1 বছর 2 বছর 3 বছর there is no result, there is literally no result, because in the first year, second year and third year, এই 3 বছরের first কিছু years এ আপনার হচ্ছে তেমন কোনো আউটকাম আসবে না. Maybe you are still investing, or investing থেকে maybe you are operating your startup on break even. Okay, so it can be the both, but still you are operating your startup with almost zero profit, and you have to keep this in mind. So দেখা গেল অনেক সময় শুরুর দিকে পার্টনাররা হচ্ছে খুব ভালো রোল প্লে করে, বাট যখন দেখতেছে যে there is no money, you are not making money, and this is going to take time, and they quit. So this is a great hustle that you have to get a great partner. Okay, so it's a great hustle, and I have also suffered a lot. I will share with you along the way. Moving on, fund crisis. It's a huge crisis, I know, or I hope that all of you will agree with me, because whenever you go ahead and start a startup, you need at least the basic funding. Let's say you want to build an app, you want a developer, you want to have your own website. That's also very much important. At the same time, you need a small operating expense as well. So based on the startup type, যে আপনার কোন ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে হচ্ছে যে আপনার অপারেট করবেন, ফান্ড ক্রাইসিসটা একটু বেশি হয় বা একটু কম হয়, but trust me, in your startup journey you will face a lot of fund crisis. I have faced in mine, truth be told. Okay, because when I started, I didn't have any office. I used to work at Jahangirnagar Center, I used to work at a library, I used to work at home, and হচ্ছে আমি and আমার পার্টনার আমরা হচ্ছে sometimes he used to come to my home, or else I used to go to his home. Okay, so this is how we used to manage. Okay, so that's the fact. So fund crisis is a must. Moving on, skills crisis. Skills is really very much important, because let me tell you, যে কোনো একটা business you need certain type of the digital skills and some interpersonal skills for sure. At the same time, your industrial knowledge. Okay, so the famous entrepreneurs, and including me, I also tell that you need some sort of people in your industry, or in like কোন কোন ধরনের হচ্ছে স্কিলস বা কোন কোন ধরনের পিপল দরকার? নাম্বার ওয়ান হচ্ছে আপনার যে কোনো ধরনের ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে আপনি হচ্ছে যে সেট আপ করেন আপনার স্টার্টআপ, you need somebody with strong digital skills because we know nowadays we are living in the digital era, so we definitely need to have digital skills, number one. Secondly, যদি বলি কোন ধরনের স্কিলস এর দরকার, people skills. Nowadays people are suffering a lot because of the lack of people skills. By people skills I mean to say communication, I mean to say interpersonal skills. This is very much important. And thirdly, you need a guy who knows or who understands numbers, because you have to make the move each and every time on the basis of the numbers that your startup is generating for you. Okay, the skill crisis is huge. Moving on, market segment. Me personally, truth be told, after my 1 year of entrepreneurship journey, I figured out my market. I figured out my market, that these are my real customers. Before that, I was just, doing trial and error. I was trying to go ahead and reach customers. Later, I figured out, no, he is not my ideal customer. I was again trying to figure out and go ahead and get customers and figured out, na, eta hocche amar actual customer na. Okay. So, yeah. So guys, can you hear me?
Hey, hi.
Yes, bhai.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, bhai.
Okay, great. I was getting some network trouble. Well, by the way, this might happen. দেখা গেল যে একটা ইস্যু শেয়ার করি, যখন আমি কোনো সেশন নিতে যাই ওখানে একটা না একটা টেকনিক্যাল প্রবলেম থাকবেই। ওকে, সো ইট মাইট হ্যাপেন যে হচ্ছে যে আমার ইন্টারনেট কানেকশনটা হচ্ছে ডিসকানেক্ট হয়ে যেতে পারে, বাট নো ওয়ারিজ, ইফ ইট হ্যাপেন্স আই উইল কাম ব্যাক, নো ওয়ারিজ। সো উই গট 1 hour, নো ওয়ারিজ। অলরাইট, so let's move ahead. So market segment is very important. You need to figure out যে আপনি কোন মার্কেটে নিয়ে ডিল করবেন, it's very much important. Moving on, branding, marketing, and selling. Guys, I can't tell you how much I suffered out of these things, because nowadays a digital marketing era, if you yourself are not that much, if you don't have that much, well, marketing both nowadays, what you understand is social media mostly, because your customer are on social media. So if you are not present on social media in a great way, it's very tough for you. At the same time, also, marketing is one thing, and at the same time you have to do branding, and lastly, money will come only if you can sell. Let's say you happen to have a lot of following on social media, you have a good brand value, but your customer are not that much tend to buy your product. That means you can actually sell. So it's a great hustle, because early stage a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand. Like for me, I was terrible at selling, I was terrible at marketing. I didn't have any idea regarding digital marketing, branding, and other stuff. But for my startup, I had to make sure that I'm learning it. Okay, and I made sure that I learned it, and I'm constantly learning it, because selling and marketing, branding, these are lifetime skills, truly lifetime skills. It's not like যে হচ্ছে যে I will, let's say these যে আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যেটা হয়, কোন একটা কোর্সে there is particular syllabus, আমরা হচ্ছে এটা স্টাডি করি and পরীক্ষাতে ওই জিনিসগুলো আসে। Okay, so this is not gonna same thing, and then we graduate sometime. So this is not like that, guys. So this is gonna be solely lifetime skills, and need to keep on learning it. Moving on, hiring. Startup hiring is a trouble, more than a trouble, because you need to figure out, let's say you got a very good number guy, সে হচ্ছে যে নাম্বারস নিয়ে খুবই ভালো, বাট তার হচ্ছে আনফরচুনেটলি আপনার ইন্ডাস্ট্রি তেমন ভালো নলেজ নেই। He doesn't understand how the financials goes into the industry that you are in. But unfortunately, that guy has a very good number knowledge. Let's say he is from IBA and having a good degree on finance. At the same time, he also has a professional degree. So you hired him, but his insights are not actually working for you. So it's a great hustle. Moving on, lack of process. The best advice I can give you out of my small entrepreneurship journey is the importance of process. In every business, you will find that they go through a certain level of process. The process of procurement, the process, if you any sort of business, the process of manufacturing, if you are a manufacturing business, the process of, let's say, your hiring process, your selling process, your funding process, Everything is a process. So if you can make sure that your process is good enough, it's very hard for you to sustain. Now here's the good part. A process to develop code, sometimes it takes 5 years, sometimes it takes 10 years, and this is also a lifetime thing. Okay, so don't worry if you have already have a startup, or if you are still just struggling to coming up with ideas and you don't have a smart process. Trust me, still I'm developing my process. Truth be told, it has been 2.5 years, but still I'm developing. So don't worry, but this is very important. And I'm just telling you that you have to suffer a lot out of this, but don't give up. No problem. Moving on. Lack of resources. As I mentioned, যে কোনো স্টার্টআপে আপনার তিনটা জিনিস খুব বেশি দরকার nowadays. Number one, your IT. Second, funding. Third, people. Okay. So these resources are very much important, and এগুলো হচ্ছে very basic. You need a lot of other resources like that. So startup-ra lack of resources অনেক বেশি fail করে. Moving on. Prepare yourself for any shit. Okay. Because by shit, I hope that you understand the meaning of shit. And startup-এ shit গুলো হচ্ছে একটু different level হয়. It's not like your personal journey. It's not like so-called girlfriend boyfriend shit that happens actually. And this is much more than that. Let's say your customers are doing shit with you. Maybe আপনি একটা startup, you come up with a service or an idea or a product, and this is still in the initial stage of development. You are still developing, and let's say you sold a unit of any service or any product that you are actually offering. And unfortunately, what happened? That it somehow messed up with the customer, and that guy coming up with social media and going on live, hey, I have just tested the product that the Mushfiq, my friend Mushfiq, has come up with, and this is really a bullshit product and it sucks literally, and I'm gonna give you a 0 review. All right, so it literally sucks, and this will happen. Yeah, let me tell you, like if you come up with bullshit customer, and trust me, throughout your whole life, you'll come up with some bullshit customers, and that happens. All right, so be prepared for that. And I'm just talking about one type of shit. And there are a lots of shit might happen with you throughout your startup journey. But guys, I'm not discouraging you actually. I'm telling you the fact that actually happened with me in a lot of ways. Okay, but I didn't give up, and I learned from that. Okay, so whatever shit happens to you, just want to make sure that you learn from it. Okay, so don't quit. All right, so this was so far the hustles, and I try to make it a little bit short, but I don't want to hustles up in the face.